Okay, so welcome to Pont Neuf. This is my very favorite bridge. Pont Neuf actually translates into New Bridge, but it's actually the oldest bridge that's in Paris. There are 37 bridges, and this is my favorite. When it was built, Henry IV, he's the one that built it. People were very skeptical because bridges were wood at that time, and they didn't think that the bridge was actually going to stand up. It's made out of stone, and obviously he did a good job because it's still here. To commemorate the opening of the bridge, when they finished it, he had a big party to prove to people that it could handle the weight, that it was not going to fall down. One of the funny things that he did is he hired artists, and they came at a kid's party, did cartoons and stuff. They did drawings of all of the guests that were here in attendance, and then the next day they took the pictures and commissioned carving stone faces of all of the different guests, kind of drunk, but they have all of their faces on the sides of the bridge. So when we pass by later, be sure to check those out because they were real guests that were in attendance here. This became such an attraction throughout Europe that people actually traveled here just to see the bridge. And it had a lot of different functions. One of them was that it was called for a while the Tooth Puller's Bridge, because in the round alcoves, they would get people drunk, knock them on the back of the head, and they'd go ahead and extract teeth that were not doing so well. But it was pretty bloody, and there was a lot of people passed out. It was not a really good situation. So it changed. Eventually, at one point, it became, those little alcoves became a spot where they groom poodles, which would be perfect because all the girls think of poodles in Paris, so that would have been really fun. Most recently, it's been the Lovelock Bridge. If you Google Lovelocks, Wikipedia is going to show this bridge. Nowadays, you'll look around and you don't see the locks like there used to be because just a couple months ago they went ahead and cut them off. It was becoming a little bit of a nuisance, very heavy. They were worried about them falling on people underneath, and there's also a tradition with the Lovelocks is what you do is you maybe write the name of your loved one on it, your name, the date maybe, and then you walk over, you clip it onto the bridge, and you walk over the water, and you kiss your keys, and you throw it into the water, and your love is forever at that point. So when they came and cut down all of the locks, everybody broke up and got divorced. So that was a really sad story. No, just kidding. They didn't get divorced, don't worry. What they did is they took all of those locks and they made artwork, and you can actually buy that on the internet. So if you came here in the past and put a lock up and it's not here anymore, don't worry. It was put to good use, and then the artwork that they sold, the money goes back to charity, and then they had to melt some down because they can't sell that many locks. There was thousands. Pretty incredible. So there's other ways to celebrate your love. The city is trying to encourage people to do other things other than locks because locks are very, very popular here. So maybe try skipping stones on the canal like Amelie did. But let's get back to Richard, okay? Oops, not Richard. Henry. Henry is probably my favorite French king. One of the things that he did was he made it okay for there to be both Protestants and Christians, and that nobody was going to be oppressed. So that actual law that he passed is in the scroll that you see in his hands up there on the statue. You'll also notice that he's smiling. Every depiction that you see of Henry, he's smiling. All of his paintings, all of his sculptures, he was a very happy man. It could be that he was drunk all the time because he did drink from morning to night. And that was not unusual, but he had a big appetite, not just for wine, but also for women. During the time, well, even today, royalty or kings or presidents are known for having lovers. It's very common. Generally speaking, they would have maybe 4 to 6 lovers in their lifetime because that's a lot. You know, taking care of 4 to 6 girlfriends and then your wife, that's a full-time job. But this guy, big heart, big love. He had, I think, over 70 mistresses, so he definitely had a great appetite. He did not like to shower, though, so it's interesting that he had so many lovers and he had made They say he only had 3 baths in his life. They believed that the air actually could make you ill, and that being in water would open your pores and allow air to get in and make you ill. So he did not shower much, but there was perfume and cologne, so we didn't have to worry, and he was a very, very loved king. One of the things that he did is every week he would give everybody a chicken and a jug of wine. So he was the chicken and wine guy, and eventually he met his death, unfortunately not too far from here, and a carriage crash had stopped his light carriage that he had chosen to take out that morning, and a religious zealot who was upset about the whole Protestant Christian thing came in and stabbed him in the gut and killed him. Now, one of the things that I think is really interesting with my art background about the statue that I want to point out to you so that you can look around the rest of the city is look at the position of the hoofs of the horse. So if you see the hoofs, there's one up in the front and one up in the back. And traditionally with art, that means that the person was killed, either assassinated or killed in some other type of way. So he was murdered. You'll see across the way is another statue of Joan of Arc, and she also has 2 feet of her horse up, and she was burnt alive, also killed. And you'll see in some places 2 hoofs in the air, which means that they died in battle. 1 hoof in the air is that they died as a result of an injury that occurred in battle. And all 4 hooves on the ground is natural causes. And then if the rider is next to the horse, then that means that the horse died, but not the rider. So it's really very interesting history of art there. Sometimes though it's funny because the person who actually commissioned the art pays the artist to make them look a little bit more important. So sometimes you'll see one of the Louis, on a horse and it's rearing up, and they didn't really die in battle. Those guys, 14th and 16th, not so much. But that's okay. We're not gonna be too upset over that. But definitely keep an eye out for the hooves on the horses. Also in paintings as well. It's very interesting little bit of history. So just so you know, this bridge is going to lead us. We're going to go over to the other bridge now to see Pont Neuf, and that's the real Lovelock Bridge. So let's get going.